Hi everyone, my name is Annie. Today I'm going to talk about how I select the cover songs to practice singing. So basically, I make several rules when I select the songs. I try to follow them. The rule number one is that for each project, I allow a certain deadline. For instance, usually I allow 1 month per project to finish everything from learning to singing to record and the production of the instrumental and the mix and the master and eventual releasing the song. The reason that I set a deadline is that usually and the artists you tend to be kind of get dissatisfied very often with your work, especially when you are still beginners, you are learning a lot, and almost like every few days when you look at what you have done, you will find this fault and that mistake, and it's easy for you to just dwell on a project for really a long time, and you probably will not be happy or satisfied. But I think this will really impede my learning process, because when you are still learning, it's really okay to make mistakes. It's really okay not to have something that is perfectly good, and we need to learn to embrace our faults, and over the time we can see like how much progress we have made, instead of dwell on one project for several months and still not feel any satisfied with that. I definitely have this deadline to push me to finish something, and I told myself, unless it's really really bad, usually there are some minor mistakes or something that I think I have done the best for this current period. I probably cannot do anything better. Then I will just let it go, and I'll start the next project. The rule number two is the song that I selected itself needs to have well-written lyrics and melodies. I care a lot for the melodies. It has to be a melody that definitely speak to me. And I usually prefer the songs with a lot of dynamics. Those tend to be a little bit more challenging to sing as well. That is also something that make a song very interesting, and that you have all these ups and downs that can make you quite emotional. And I prefer emotional songs. And for the songs that had a human vocal, I just don't like the lyrics that doesn't say anything. Because I love reading, I love literature. I enjoy the songs that are really well written, that the lyrics has interesting words, interesting messages, it has something to say, and I feel like I really resonated with it, or the song speaks my mind. So it means a lot to me that a song had the both elements, that is well written melody to go with well written lyrics, for me to consider that I want to do this project. And especially consider I'm going to spend at least 1 month with it, right? You gotta have to really like the work itself. The third rule is that I need to resonate with the song. You know, sometimes when you are younger, you like some of the works, and maybe it speaks to you at that time, but as you grow older and you have matured, maybe you still enjoy the song and you feel nostalgic, or just reminds you of certain time, and this moment you no longer resonating so much with that song anymore. This will definitely impede your how should I say it, because to really inject your soul into the song, you need to put a little bit of yourself into that song, your own feelings and emotion expressions, and the way to interpret it. That is what make the songs that's connected with other people, right? That means if a song is no longer resonating with me, I will find it very hard to bring my best to sing this song. The best way for interpret a song is to become the character of the song, whether it's a storyteller or whether it's somebody who is heartbroken or whether it's somebody feeling super happy or whatever. You need to be the speaker of the song. Chris did a very good videos on how you can approach a song and a singer, especially when you are learning a song. He advised that you don't really learning the melodies notes by notes, but you learn that from reading it more like a poem. Let's take a look at the video on how he did it.
But I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. Ugh. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. And I'm a creep. I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. I'm a weirdo. The hell am I doing here? The hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. I don't belong here. No. I'm a creep.
Okay, and you can see that for Radiohead's famous song Creep, in order to sing it well, you better put yourself in that kind of role where you feel quite lonely, and when you feel someone you admire, someone you love is so unreachable, is so like far away from you, and you just feel like you cannot really compare to this person. It's definitely a good song, and it's just like I feel like I wouldn't feel happy if I have to sing the lyrics. And I think this is also one reason in many occasions Radiohead refused to sing the song live in their performance, even though it's definitely one of the favorites of the fans. I think one of the reasons it could be that sometimes artists can grow and they can mature. Maybe they don't resonate with some of their old works anymore, and they just don't want to have kind of like a fake, not very authentic performance in front of the fans, because they feel it's very hard for them to inject the emotion into performing the song, so they simply don't want to sing it. The same reason, like, I still love Creep, but I don't want to sing it. The first rule is the vocalist of the song needs to be a really good singer. The reason that I have this rule is nowadays a lot of music that we hear has the pitch correction done, no matter the original singer is really good or they're mediocre or they can not totally sing at all. This makes it very difficult for you to honestly judge a work on the surface, whether the singer is worth for you to imitate, to learn from. Nowadays, when I encounter a new work that is published after 2000, especially from new singers that I'm not familiar with, I will check whether they have done some unedited live performance to judge their singing ability, whether they can really sing, whether they have good pitch, good rhythms, and they have good breath support and other singing technique, that basically they have real stuff that's worth learning from, that it's worth my time and attention to listen to them and to learn something from them. So one example is when I hear the song I Can't Hear It Now by Freya Riding first from the TV show. I like the melody of the songs, and I was just it's just a something that's not really resonating with me, and I don't know exactly, but I think it's how the song was processed in the studio version. It just made me feel like the singing is pretty far and not very intimate. But to me, the song is quite personal, about the grief of losing someone who is really close to you. Yeah, so I was like, whether I should sing this song or not, I just feel like there's something lacking until I checked Freya's one of her videos where she is sitting in front of the piano and she was playing and singing the song. It was definitely like a one take type of video, and it was unedited. And she was singing in such an emotional way, and it really touched me. I know that version is far from perfect. I mean, it's not so polished or something, but it's so authentic and it's so emotional, and I can feel her so vibrating with me. And so I definitely fell in love with that version, and I decided to cover this song as my first cover song. Yeah, so I'm really glad that I checked this version where it's less processed and it's not pitch corrected. The rule number 5 is this song needs to be more challenging than my current level. So this is very important for almost anybody who is trying to learn a skill. That is, you need to find a challenge that is not too difficult but not too easy. It should be just a little bit over your current level. So during the process that you strive to achieve your goal, to overcome the difficulty, and to basically nail the challenge, you will really get a sense of achievement and satisfaction from it. That's why when I select the cover song, they are not really songs that I'm totally comfortable with singing. Maybe they have such a dynamic range, or maybe it's like lower than that I usually sing, or maybe they have a special resi technique, or maybe they have such the dynamic high notes where you have to hit the high note with chesty voice that I haven't developed. So usually there is something to learn, and during this process, like practicing over and over again to sing it better, and this is how I gradually make progress and sing better. Of course, sometimes I do think maybe I'm a little bit overestimate my ability. For instance, my recent project is kind of delayed because it's quite a difficult song. And so almost after 2 months, and I still haven't really finished that. Of course, one of the reasons is I got sick and I couldn't really practice singing for almost like 2 or 3 weeks. And you can see like I'm still basically recovering from that. The last rule is that I will try to be open to different style and genre. I would say before I started to learn singing that I have a limited selections when I listen to the songs with a vocalist. But after I started to learn to sing, I realized actually a lot of singing technique is best to learn from something that I didn't really listen to before. For instance, like opera and musicals. I just decided to be more open to the things that I'm not used to, and because it provides me a good learning opportunity to get familiar with different type of learning, or how to sing in a good way that's not very damaging for my throat. For instance, I used to like a lot of rock music, but now I realize probably I cannot really sing them without damaging my throat too much. But I wanted to be able to sing, and hopefully until I reach an old age, I wanted to enjoy singing. So I would like to learn the way to sing while maintaining my vocal cord health. You can see from the traditional genre such as the operas, a lot of singers they still have this ability to sing really well until they're quite old. I think it has something to do with the way they train their voice. So this is something that I wanted to learn because I wanted to be able to sing longer, and it opens a new opportunity for me to learn different things, and it's quite interesting and fun overall. Yeah, so those are the rules that I kind of thinking about when I select a song to work on. And I think it's important because we nowadays we really have millions of works to choose from. For me to make it really a good way for me to learn, to make progress overall, I need to be very selective to maximize my learning. So what about you? Do you do cover songs, and do you have any rules yourself when you select the songs? And I'll be very interested to know what you do with your songs, and please leave a comment if you want to share. All right, I think that's all, and hopefully I'll see you later. Bye.